You mentioned the game tomorrow against the Chicago Bulls. We should get into that one. The Chicago Bulls are right now 3-5. They are a team that is kind of just weird because they have talent, right? You think about Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vukovic. You're like, okay, this team has talent. Why are they not good? It seems like they just don't have the right pieces. The chemistry isn't there, or the fit, as the Suns like to say, just isn't right with the Bulls. And going into this game, Zach LaVine's their leading scorer right now at 22.5 points per game, but he hasn't been efficient this year, shooting 41% from the field and 32% from three. As a team, they just don't score the ball. They're 25th in the NBA, only scoring 108 points per game, and they play very slow. They have the 29th pace in the NBA. So going into this matchup, what do you think are the keys for the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, well, for one, I would love to see Keita Bates Diop start again, especially against a team like this where you have two elite wing scorers in DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. So I think that'll be fun to see, and especially if Bradley Beal's out there, that would also be fun to see. So, yeah, I think that for matchup purposes, Bradley Beal would be on Kobe White, Grayson Allen on Zach LaVine, and then Keita Bates Diop on DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant on Patrick Williams, and then obviously Vucevic versus Nurkic. So I just think that the Suns match up really well with them, and I think they're really starting to come into their own defensively. So I think that's what I want to see most tomorrow is when you're going against two elite scorers like these two, how do the Suns defend them? And yeah, because they haven't really played a team with elite scorers since elite wing scores, I should say, since the Warriors. So I think that that will be a fun game to watch for sure. And um, yeah, I'm really excited to see them defensively tomorrow.
Yeah, I do like that point of starting Keita Bates-Diop because of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. How you feel about Josh Okogie maybe starting in the lineup as well because of his defense? And you could have two lockdown defenders on their two best scorers. And you talk about a team that likes to play slow, so they'll be in the half court most of the time. So you have your best defenders already set, ready to go against those two guys.
Yeah, I think even though Josh Okogie he likes to run the fast break and he does really well in that regard. I think that Grayson Allen is a better start there just because of his offense. I mean, the Suns, especially if it's gonna be a lot of half court sets, they're gonna need more offense. So I just think Grayson Allen spaces the floor more. He could do a similar job on Zach LaVine, unless that's a good thing about the Suns. If Zach LaVine's cooking, then
Yeah.
just put in Josh Okogie and they can throw multiple bodies at him. Put Jordan Goodwin on him too.
Yeah.
So I just think that's a really positive aspect about the Suns, and I think. Like we've talked about before, Grayson Allen and his offense, when it's needed, then he should be in there because if Keita Bates Diop was playing better, then I would say him. But yeah, I mean, you're really replacing Devin Booker right now, and then Keita Bates Diop is replacing Josh Okogie. So I don't think Josh Okogie and Devin Booker play the same role in this team. I think it's more similar that him and Grayson Allen play the same role. So that's why I would start Grayson Allen.
No, you make some good points, especially when you think about the fact that if Bradley Beal is playing limited minutes, that means there's going to be a lot of KD alone minutes with the role players, and you want those shooters out there around Kevin Durant. So that definitely makes sense. And one thing that I think is a key for this game, you mentioned how it might be slowed down, right? Because I talked about the pace with the Bulls. So you want to control the tempo. So for the Suns, they want to play at a fast pace. We talked about it last week how they were 11th in pace last week, and I don't see where they're at right now, but they definitely still got to be top 15 in pace in the league. And you want to be able to control it to where you're playing what you want to do. You don't want to be playing their pace where it's slowed down and it's a low scoring game because that's how the Bulls stay in it by having it as a low scoring game. So they should get out and run as much as they can. As soon as the ball comes out, if it's KD, he's throwing it up to Grayson or throwing it up to whoever to where they can get it rolling and try to get transition buckets. So when they're going in transition, this team is really unstoppable. We've seen it before where they go on these crazy runs because they get a steal. And next thing you know, just everybody is flowing. Everybody's hitting shots. That's because the ball is flowing and they're going in transition, not slowed down. So I think it's very important for them to make sure that they control pace and they don't let the Bulls control the pace of this game.
Yeah, and I'm just going back to Bradley Beal. I'm just excited to see how he fits and how they run the rotation through that because KD's been playing all the first and third quarter usually, and then he sits out for 6 minutes in the second quarter and then like 4 minutes in the fourth. So that'll be big to have Bradley Beal in those minutes. But
Yeah.
I mean, Eric Gordon's been filling in well as well. So I think having Bradley Beal and Eric Gordon on the court is going to be a fun dynamic, as well as obviously Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. So
Yeah.
that'll be really fun to see what Bradley Beal brings to the table, because you just don't know, especially without Devin Booker. How can he handle the playmaking role as a point guard pretty much? So I just think when Suns fans definitely are going to be excited to see if Bradley Beal is out there tomorrow, what he brings to the table.
Oh, for sure. Now, if he's playing, that's something that will give a jolt of energy to the team for sure and to the fan base, because we've been waiting to see Bradley Beal. Unfortunately, it won't be with the big three, but at least you'll have big two of the big three out there.